Turkey's Pro-Kurdish DEM Party has nominated imprisoned politician Gülhan Kişanak and former Human Rights Association co-chair Öztürk for the Ankara mayoral candidacy. A Turkish court has ruled that the 1993 arson attack, which killed 9 members of a Kurdish family in what's known as the Vartinis Massacre, was not committed with political, racial or religious intent. Kurdish must be formally recognised as a language of Turkey, Kurdish Writers Association co-chair Redor Dicle has said, as news emerged that despite 5-figure annual enrolments, only 132 Kurdish teachers have been appointed over the past 12 years. And an international delegation against isolation and for the resolution of the Kurdish issue is visiting Istanbul, Turkey, demanding the immediate release of Kurdistan Workers' Party leader Abdullah Öcalan. Learn more with Media News. Turkey's Pro-Kurdish People's Equality and Democracy Party, or DEM Party, announced its co-mayoral candidates for Ankara as Gülhan Kişanak, a prominent Kurdish politician currently detained in Kandera prison, and Öztürk, former co-chair of Turkey's Human Rights Association. Kişanak is celebrated as a pivotal figure in both Kurdish politics and the wider Turkish opposition, known for her resilience as a former detainee of the notorious 1980 military coup, her socialist principles and her influential role in championing women's rights in politics. Kişanak, who's been in prison for 7.5 years, conveyed a message through her lawyers accepting the nomination as a duty to her people and expressing her commitment to addressing core issues such as the Kurdish question and women's rights, directly from the capital. Kişanak's candidacy comes despite her prolonged detention, which has exceeded the maximum period stipulated in Turkish law. Arrested in October 2016, 2 years after being elected as the co-mayor of Diyarbakir, Kişanak faces charges of being a member of a terrorist organisation. Her legal team has appealed for her release, citing the expiration of the maximum detention period, but the court denied these requests, maintaining her imprisonment beyond the 7-year limit. A Turkish court argued in a detailed verdict released on Monday that there was no definitive evidence that the 1993 arson attack, which killed 9 members of a Kurdish family in Vartinis, was committed with political, racial or religious intent and thus not constituting a crime against humanity. On the 3rd of October 1993, 9 people from the same family, 7 of whom were children, were killed when their house was set on fire following allegations that they had aided and abetted an illegal terrorist organisation. The only surviving member, Aysel Oert, repeated criminal complaints throughout the years, stating that the house had been set on fire by Turkish soldiers, complaints which eventually brought about an investigation process in 2006, lasting 8 years. A lawsuit was finally filed in 2013, 20 years after the incident, but the case was dismissed on the grounds of statute of limitations in December. The court also lifted a red notice and arrest warrants previously issued against Bülent Karaoğlu, a former gendarmerie captain, the only defendant in the case, and who did not attend the hearings. Kurdish must be formally recognised as a language of Turkey and taught in educational establishments, Kurdish Writers Association co-chair Redor Dicle has said. His call came as news emerged that despite thousands of students enrolling for elective Kurdish language courses in Turkey, only 132 teachers have been appointed over the past 12 years. In the 2022-23 academic year, 24,368 students chose to study Kurdish, illustrating an overwhelming discrepancy with the number of appointed teachers. Emin Ay, spokesperson for the Kurdish Teachers Initiative, said that communities must continue to demand education in one's mother tongue. Meanwhile, Dicle highlighted the cultural and existential significance of language to a community's identity and the risks of assimilation under dominant languages. His call to action coincides with the celebration of International Mother Language Day on the 21st of February. In Turkey, Kurdish faces a continuous threat of assimilation under the country's monolingual policy, placing it on UNESCO's list of endangered languages with regional Kurdish dialects ranging from vulnerable to critical. Dicle articulated the intrinsic value of language as more than a mere tool for communication, embodying the collective intellect, morality and aesthetics of a community. An international delegation, including parliamentarians, has arrived in Istanbul to address the absolute isolation imposed on Abdullah Öcalan, the Kurdistan Workers' Party leader, detained in Turkey's İmralı Island prison. The representatives from various European democratic parties and organisations emphasised the need to end Öcalan's isolation, ongoing without reprieve for 35 months, and the need to restart the process for a peaceful and permanent political resolution to the Kurdish issue. Delegates underscored the ongoing impact of the unresolved Kurdish issue on Turkey and the wider region, criticising the Turkish state's continued violent and oppressive tactics, particularly evident in the restrictions faced by the annulled Pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party during the last general elections in spring 2023. During the delegation press conference, European Free Alliance President Maria Lorena Lopez de la Calle said,
"Both the repression of legal political parties, and the isolation of Abdullah Öcalan needs to end in order to restart the process towards a peaceful and lasting political solution to the Kurdish question. Since 2005, Abdullah Öcalan claims democratic confederalism. The progressist parties that we represent are convinced that ecology and feminism implemented with a bottom-up approach are the driving forces for a better and fairer society for all."